Hey there and happy holidays. Michael Stack here, CEO of AMAX. So it's getting to be that time of the year where we really start to look back and reflect on the year that has passed. And in your work comp program, you may have achieved incredible results and you may have fallen a little bit short. I want to talk about today this really sequence of buy-in, because a lot of times what I'll find is that a risk manager will put some thought into saying, I want to really improve my program. I want to create this system, but you're just not getting the buy-in. You're not getting the results. You're not getting your company on board with what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Well, there's a very specific sequence and steps that you need to take, and that's what I'm going to be walking you through today. So when you start out your program, you've created your system, and you want to really start to create and realize these results. There's a very specific steps that you need to take. First piece is to sell the management. Next is to get your management on board to endorse your program to your company or to your organization. Then you bring your supervisors on board, and then finally you bring your employees on board. Now I want you to think about these 4 steps really as almost like a rope or links in a chain. And if one of these links are broken, it's going to make everything below it fall. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you've created your system, but you're really having a very difficult time getting your supervisors on board. They could kind of care less. They're not involved in reporting the claims. They're not involved in your return to work program. They're not cooperating with creating transitional duty jobs. So your supervisors are not engaged. They're not on board with what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So let's say that this link in this chain is broken. Your supervisors are not engaged. And so that means that there's really almost no way that your employees are going to be on board either. So this whole thing is going to fall off below. If your supervisors aren't engaged in your program, if they're not involved, if they could care less, your employees could kind of care less too, because they're often going to follow the lead of their direct supervisor. So let's talk about this next step. Let's say that you haven't been able to engage your management. Much like your supervisors, maybe your senior managers are somewhat aloof to what it is that you're doing, and they could kind of care less about your program. Maybe they ask for a report about once a year, but that's about the extent of it. So you haven't done a good job in selling to management. So if you haven't done a good job in selling to management, if this link is broken, then everything below that is going to fall as well. The management wouldn't have endorsed your program to a company. Your supervisors then wouldn't be following the lead of your managers. So as you look back at your program, as you look at this past year, take a look at this sequence. Have you done a good job of engaging your senior management in your work comp program of what it is that you're trying to accomplish? If you haven't done this first step, everything below it is going to very much suffer, because it's a very sequential set of action steps in order to realize that engagement and build that culture of what you're looking to accomplish. Now, if you want further information, a further step-by-step approach on how to do this very specific step of selling to management, or maybe you're a service provider, maybe you're an insurance broker, how do you win that client's trust? How do you get your clients engaged in your program? It's a very similar set of steps. I encourage you to register for my current Power of One, How Your Impact on Workers' Comp Will Change Your Career training series. It's a 3-part series, and in the second part of the series, it's called Expand Your Influence, and I walk through the exact process that you need to take in order to sell to management or build your client's trust. And once you do that, then you could set yourself on the path to now realize those results. Again, I'm Michael Stack, CEO of AMAX. And remember, your work today in workers' compensation, it can have a dramatic impact on your company's bottom line. But it will have a dramatic impact on someone's life. So be great.